Welcome to One Unpleasant Podcast, the only podcast that you can eat frosted flakes to. I'm James, and I'm here with Kevin,
Yo, yo.
and I'm here with Tim.
Hey,
I thought you were gonna fart.
I was, but then I ran out of gas.
I got it. I got that. It didn't go over my head. Like the last one. Alright. So how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Doing good? What's been going on with y'all?
Man,
Same old stuff.
a, a lot.
A lot? You got anything to
Yes,
share?
yes, I do. Okay. I don't have a lot of stories off the top of my head, but from what I can remember, just going into this new year, I don't know, it's been interesting. Seen a lot of interesting things, and by interesting things, I mean
He's
well, I
choking.
lost my train of thought.
I don't know. Like what kind of things? Like dirty things?
Yeah, dirty things.
Alright.
I don't know. I'm always. I don't know. My mind's always in the gutter. I was trying to think of something else for once, but I mean, hey, if that's all I can think of, I'm gonna talk to you about some dirty things that I've seen.
Please.
Um, well, it's probably just gonna have to do with porn, but hope you're okay with that.
This is One Unpleasant Podcast, so of course we're okay with that.
Yeah, dude, just
That
shoot.
is so true. That is so true. Okay, well, whenever you're watching a video and it's going the right way and everything's going fine, and then somehow that one weird fetish moment pops up in the video, and it's like, this is not what I was watching this for, and so you just stop
Yes,
watching porn the entire
yes, I,
day. You're
I know
just
what you're
like,
talking
okay,
about.
that ruined the moment.
It it reminds me of the time, and I talked to you about this. This was like some time ago. I was going through YouTube, not like any of those other sites, but YouTube of all places, and I was just clicking through the side videos and whatnot, and then I see this one video about I can't remember the title, but it led me to believe that it was a foot fetish video.
Mm.
And that's exactly what it was. The curiosity, I could not take it anymore. I was like, alright, watching this video. And after that, I was a changed man. I I messaged him immediately. Not after the video, not halfway through the video, but right as I right as
I
I
want to say
figured
I
out what was
remember
going
this.
on. This is a while ago, so I don't know. The text might still be in your inbox, but I was losing my butt. I was laughing way too hard. But yeah.
That being said, though, that reminds me of an even weirder video that I saw porn wise. But okay, so I typed in a cum shot compilation. I was looking for yeah, and basically at the beginning of this one video I found, I'm just like, hey, this one looks like it's great because the thumbnail was great, right? Anytime there's a good thumbnail, you're gonna click on that video
Thumbnail
expecting
is
great, right?
everything.
It is. So I click on it. I'm just like, all right, it has the introduction and whatnot. And, the dude's, yanking his turkey, trying to explode his stuff onto the woman's breast. And all of a sudden, they flash it to the woman. And she doesn't have two tits, man. She doesn't have one either. She has three. And, like, literally, in the corner of the video, like how they have, like, the site name or whatever?
Yeah.
In the corner of the video, in the bottom right corner, it says Triceratits. So I'm just like, why?
Okay.
Why is
The
this
fuck?
happening?
How? Okay, I know you're in awe, but when you can finally collect your thoughts, what did you think about that? Were you disturbed?
One,
Did you want to go
I
back?
didn't. I kind of just didn't skip it. I don't know. It was like my curiosity,
Just
and
like, oh, why
then
not?
at the same time, I was kind of just like, well, I mean, it's not too bad. It's just an extra one. I mean, what's an extra tit gonna hurt? Extra tit never hurt nobody. So
I
I
want that
kind of
on a
just let
shirt.
the thing play out. Hmm?
I want that on a t-shirt.
I do too, honestly. Now, extra tit never hurt nobody.
Oh my goodness, that's great. But yeah, that's I just had a thought that what if we made that into a segment? Things I saw while I was janking the turkey. By the way, I'm
Things
adding that.
I
I'm
like that.
I'm adding that word for it. I'm adding that
Hmm.
to the list that I have compiled. So
Hmm.
thank you for that.
No problem.
I
No
do have a
problem.
story for you guys. This is like completely aside from what we were just talking about. This actually happened this morning. So you guys know how much I hate tailgaters. I just despise them. I want them to die.
Yes.
Like I'd be going 20 over the speed limit and then the guy behind me still tailgating. Like
I hate that. Sorry, go on. I was about
yeah,
to rant.
I hate it so much. But I'm on my way to school and I'm going down this. It's not a sharp hill, like it goes 90 degrees down, but it's a pretty long hill.
It'd be awesome.
Enough for you to gain some momentum.
Hmm.
And so I've become smarter about going down that hill because I know that a cop likes to sit at the bottom of the hill waiting for that one person to not brake as they go down that hill. And so I'm braking. I see him. I'm like, I see you. I see you. I'm not gonna fall for your tricks. So I'm braking as I'm going down, trying to keep I think it was 40, constant 40. And as I'm passing by him, my heart starts to race because I see his little it's that gun that he uses to measure
Oh, I
the
know what you're
speed or
talking
whatever.
about.
Yeah. I saw that up and I saw him reach down. And so as like the second I passed him, I look in the mirror and I see his lights go off. And he
What?
pulls out and I'm like, there's no way you're going to pull me over for going like 3 over the speed limit. There's no way. So
Some do that shit.
in my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't. I gotta get to school. I gotta do a
Hmm.
test. I just can't do this right now. And so
Hmm.
I pull over, but there was also a car right on my butt as this happened. So I was also confused. I was like freaking out and wondering
So
if it
you
was
thought you were being
me.
pulled over?
Yeah, I thought it could have been me because this guy was right on my tail, so I had no idea who he was
Okay.
pulling over. So as we both pulled over to the side, I'm just like hanging my head like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And I look in the rearview mirror and the guy in the car behind me was waving his hand like, go, go. And in my head, the angels just started singing. I was like, no way. And so I start to slowly inch like onto the
Hmm.
road because I'm afraid that if I just start going, the cop's gonna be like, "Hey, get back here!" And then it's just gonna be a chase, and he's gonna
Yeah.
just throw my butt on the ground. But
And tase shit at you.
I got off scot-free. I was just in a good mood for the rest of the day. I didn't even care that I had a test. I was like that picture of Leonardo DiCaprio just strutting, smiling like, I'm Leo, I don't care. I thought I was gonna die, but I didn't.
Mm.
That was great. Anyway, you might be
Ah.
wondering why Ken is not present on this podcast. It's a funny story.
Mm.
In 1 week, his phone gets, I don't know, I think he dropped it or something.
His phone is like decimated right now, bro.
Yeah, his phone gets dropped. And in the same week, his iPad breaks.
Mm.
So those are the two methods that he uses to get onto the podcast. He can use his computer, but he gets the short end of the stick when it comes to
See, I
the
don't know if
computer.
that's bad luck or just
That is,
irresponsibility.
I think that's
I'd
terrible
say
luck.
bad luck.
That's
I'd say
terrible
bad
luck.
luck.
Or you could say Dylan luck.
I was about to say that. But I don't know, man. I don't think... That's pretty bad. After that,
That
I
is.
just would have been done. I would have
Shame. I'd be done with electronics for a while, honestly, after that. I'd just be like, you know what? I don't need this in my life. I'm gonna go live out in the forest for a couple days. And then, like, that's probably what I'd do.
That being said, like, I hate to be the guy that's like, oh, well, if I were him, but I'm gonna be that guy anyway, because I don't care.
Mhm.
If I were Ken, here's what I would do. I've suggested this before, like, invite James over, or somebody, and use their
Mhm.
phone, because James isn't
Yeah,
having any problems connecting right now. I can hear him crystal clear. And James is usually on the podcast anyway, so it's a two birds, one stone kind of thing.
Yeah.
exactly.
Or, I don't know, you two, because you guys live like down the street from each other, just
Yeah,
for
he
the
could. Yeah,
hour
he could
record.
come over here.
I
I don't
mean,
know why
there's
he
a
didn't
ton of
think of
things
that.
he
I mean,
could
he
do
totally
these.
could have just.
Yeah, like there's a ton
It's
of
all.
things he could do, but I mean, if he just, there's probably reasons why he can't. I don't know, probably his
Yeah,
parents or something. But just ideas, you know. You gotta be consistent with these things, you know?
I know what you mean, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Man,
So let's.
couple weeks from now, huh?
Yeah, perfect segue. It's Valentine's Day, guys.
It's coming up, bro.
Do you have
I
Valentine,
cannot.
Tim?
Ah, I mean, I want her to be my Valentine. Not saying that it's gonna happen, but I really want her to be. But the thing is, with Valentine's Day, it just comes in with like you liking people and whatnot. It has to do with all that shit. And me, I've been really realizing how awkward I can be with people, and it's only when I think too hard about it. Like today,
Oh.
for instance, this actually happened today. Okay, so I'm in the cyber lounge at Swick, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, okay, so there's this chick, right?
Yes.
And okay, I was like, I gotta bring myself together to say this is just, I don't know, it's embarrassing for me, but it's funny at the same time,
Okay.
and I don't mind sharing it with you guys.
I'll
But
promise you
anyway,
this. If you tell me this, I will tell you an embarrassing story. I've told you, but I'll tell you
oh,
again, because you might have forgotten.
okay.
Alright,
But
let's do
anyway,
this.
okay, so I'm sitting down, minding my own business on my phone, and the chick that that I've been admiring for a while, she's with a couple of her friends, and her friend calls me out, and she says, "Hey, Afro Tim," and I'm just like, What's up?" And so like I turn around, and the girl that I like and whatnot, she's like, "I like your shirt," like and they were just like, "You always have the coolest sweatshirts," and this is my response. I literally say, "Haha, thanks," but as one word. I'm just like, and I didn't realize how dumb that sounds 5 seconds afterwards, and I'm just like, I sit down and I want to go up to a wall and just bang my head against the wall continuously for what I had said. I'm just like, I couldn't have made that any more awkward than I just did. What is wrong with me? I'm a monster. Like I was
That
so upset,
okay,
man.
that was not that's not terrible,
I
Tim.
mean,
That's
I
probably not
thought
what
it
they were
was
thinking.
terrible of me.
Yeah.
You had to hear the way I said it. You had to hear the way I said it.
I mean, they
It
might have
was
think that
rough,
they might have thought that
man.
was adorable.
No, I thought it was
I don't think
horrible.
so.
I
Maybe they didn't even care, but I
that's what I'm
sure as hell.
saying. Like,
That's the thing, though. Like half the time when we do screw up, they don't care. But like, you know what I mean? Like as
yeah,
a person, you're gonna take it harder for yourself.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's my story, I guess.
I
I
didn't
actually
sleep on.
really
Go
hate to
on.
say this. Um, so this is last year actually.
Mm.
Um, last semester, and there was this one girl that I kind of liked. Never talked to her because unfortunately college is just like you see somebody, but then you never have a class. Never.
Yep. Yep.
And I think I was maybe 10-ish minutes early for my next class, and so I had time to kill. And then I look over to the classroom next to me, like the wall, or I'm in the hallway, and she's sitting right there. Just nobody around, just sitting right there. Just saying, Kevin, come sit with me. Come sit with me and converse. Converse with me. Bewitch me. No. I was so nervous. I wanted to say something. Just anything.
Anything.
But for some reason, I just couldn't do it. So I walked to the bathroom, which is on the other side of the classroom she was waiting outside of. I go to the bathroom, I try to gain my composure, like, looking in the mirror, Kevin, you could do this, you're a man. You are a male. So get out there and just do your thing. And so I walk to the door of the bathroom, all confident, like, and just as soon as I open the door, still see her sitting alone, and then everything goes back to the way it was. I am nervous beyond anything I'd like to admit.
Damn, so it was that bad?
It was terrible.
It
Because
happened.
as I'm walking to the bathroom door to leave, I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, I hope she left so I have an excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're secretly hoping you don't have to put yourself in that situation. So finally, I'm just like, alright, gotta sack up. So I lean on the wall, like up against the wall, not facing her per se, but right next to her.
Mhm.
And I am about to lean over and say, hey, like, hey, what's up? But she's on her phone. I hate to be the guy to interrupt somebody. I mean, I really do. So in my head, I'm just like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? And I guess that might have taken like a minute or something. Because there's another chick that was waiting to go into that same classroom. And so, just as soon as she came up the stairs, she looked at me weirdly, like, what are you doing? So I kind of played it off. I waited there for like another 30 seconds before I went further down the hallway. Looked at some flyers, and then finally decided to go back to class.
God damn it, Kevin. Play with your phone too. That's what you're supposed to do. Pretend you're like looking for something.
I'm hoping that they only thought that I was waiting for somebody to come up the stairs. Because the stairs was right in front of the classroom, so I mean it is a reasonable thing to assume. But oh my gosh, that was terrible.
Oh yeah, I got two stories to tell you.
Please.
Okay, now there was like last Thursday. Okay, I was in the lounge, and I was just watching TV in there, and then I happened to see this girl, like on her phone, just like playing something or whatever, and I started a conversation with her, and then we started talking all that stuff, and she asked me how old am I, and I said that I was 18, and that's when she had called me that I'm a baby.
What?
Yes, and she's like 22 years old.
Get some, bro. You should have been like, damn. You should have found out her age first and been like, girl, I'm 23. I mean, no, wait, no, nah. Because then that would make you say, nah. You should have just been like,
Tim,
don't worry about my age. What?
Like, now that we're freshmen in college, does any like upperclassmen come up to you and ask like, how old are you?
I haven't had that exactly happen yet, but like, no one's really. I've had that a couple times happen, but I mean, I'm 19. I haven't really like. I don't know.
Because I was about to
Not
say,
a
it
lot of
happened to
people
me
have.
too.
But like the fact that she called me a baby, it was like, wow, that's okay. Now
That was got to me.
that kind of made me feel a little disappointed right there.
I would have been disappointed too, man.
For like what, like maybe like a minute.
You can take it two different ways. It's either endearment, or like endearment, like, oh, you're a little baby, or
like how did she say it though, James? Is it like?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but it wasn't exactly a mean way. Like she
Mhm.
wasn't mean about it.
Okay.
Hey Tim,
I want to see this chick, but what's up? Yes.
Ken's calling me right now.
Is he really?
Yeah. Hey Ken,
We're in the what?
we're in the middle of the podcast. What's up?
What do you want, Ken?
Okay. Um. Yeah, we might record something later. Tim has to leave though. Tim has to leave after this, so you and I might be able to do something. All right, so hit me up on it, or I'll message you on Skype when we're done. All right, peace. I'm keeping this in the podcast, by the way.
I love Ken. That's fun.
He was eating dinner apparently,
Wow.
Ah,
which is reasonable.
9 o'clock.
But what were we
Late
saying?
for dinner.
Oh yeah, James, go
Yeah.
after that. If you think that I was positive, go after it.
Okay.
Honestly, when was this, James? Like, how long ago was this?
It was last Thursday.
Dude, talk to her, bro.
Yeah, like
Like, for real. Please.
But
Get on
dude,
your
like,
game, bro.
but still, I haven't seen her since then.
Ah, goddamn.
I hate it when that happens.
Try to find out, like, see what I do is, like, see, that's the thing with college, because, like, sometimes people, because you know what I mean? Like, no one really has, like, I mean, like, you have a schedule, but you don't really do, like, you don't go to the same places that you would every day. You know what I mean? Like one
Hmm.
day you might be in here in the cafeteria, then the other day you might be in a lounge. You never know what you're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Normally, most people will have like a schedule like of where they like hang out and stuff like that. And if I see a chick that like I've got my eye on, like I'll just try to keep an eye out and just like see where she likes to hang out at. You know what I mean? Like if I'm chilling here and she's in the same area as me, then I know that she likes to go in the same place. So I'll just go in there like slightly more than the usual time that I guess I go in there. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know
Valentine's
why I'm
Day.
trying to give out advice. Fuck Valentine's Day.
What do you guys
Can
do?
we skip that this year? Huh?
Skip it. What would we replace it with? Mexican
Uh,
food day. Go out, get a
no.
burrito, and stay
Give
in.
Tim a blowjob day. What?
If you can get people to get on board with that, I mean, go ham.
I mean, I want to so bad. But go on. I want to do what? You want to do what now? Mexican what stand?
Mexican food day. Just get a big
I'm
burrito the
down.
size of your
Honestly, I'm down
forearm
with that.
and just stay in and
Please.
watch cheesy romantic comedies. Laugh at how
Hmm.
bad they
I'm
are.
so down with that.
Yeah, dude. Like, we could chill
You know what?
in my room. I only have like one
Kevin, will
lazy
you
boy
be my
chair, but we can.
Valentine?
I thought you'd never ask.
Ah,
I
my
feel so
night has
good.
been made. My night has been made.
Yeah, now don't you go turn your back on me. Like, if anybody asks you, it's like, hey, do you have one? You just say yes.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. It's my best friend, okay?
Live with it. I'll do the same. Don't worry about it, man. I got your back. I gotta represent
Good.
Tim. But yeah,
Gotta
let's just
represent.
skip Valentine's Day. Progression of
Hey,
slang.
yeah,
You wanted to talk about that?
I do. I do actually. There have been like, I mean, most of the slang words that we've been hearing like the beginning of this year, they've been around for a while, but just new ones keep popping up. You know what I mean? Like they're funny to me, honestly. Like I love hearing them because not only like I mean, some of them kind of sound like nonsense, but once you hear them over and over again, especially when you hear like people with how do I say this? I'm just gonna say a ghetto accent per
Yeah, I know what
se.
you mean.
Like it's funny to hear people use like to say any slang words with a ghetto accent. Like my favorite. word that's been like, I mean, like it's been around at least for like a year or two now. Like it's been around for a little while, but thought, that's so funny to me, especially when people like get really mad and use that word. Like I'll have to I have to send you the video as well, but I sent it to my friend to Chad. It's a ghetto Naruto video.
Hmm.
Oh God.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Hold
And
on.
have you seen
Hold
it,
on.
James?
Ghetto North.
You may have
Now,
seen it.
was that the one with Dashi in it?
Yes, it's the one with Dashi.
I know what you're talking about.
He accused Sasuke of like always hanging out with ninja thoughts, and I died after he said that.
So that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your choice of slang for the year.
Thoughts.
Like that's what's new to you this year.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I guess it's new to me, and that I'm going to start using it more.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Only to be funny, I'm not going to like add it to my vocabulary and just be like, when I'm seriously mad at someone, like, oh, she's a thought. Like, I
Hmm.
can't take myself seriously when I say that, so I have to be joking when I say it. But
For me, after hanging out with Matt and Justin over Christmas
mm,
break, I can't stop saying dank.
dank.
Yeah, I can't. I can't stop. It just rolls out of my tongue, and it just happens.
I
Like
love that word.
like dope used to be what I said all the time.
Yes, it was. I remember that. That was like a phase for you.
I say it every now and then. But one thing I want to bring back is 20 slang.
And
I
that is like,
Dude, there's like websites dedicated to this. I gotta study up. I've been listening
I
to a
want to
lot of
bring back.
30s music.
You
Real talk.
have
Real talk. Just hours worth of 30s
hours.
music. Yes. James, what about you? What slangs you've been using this year?
Slang, shoot. I don't know, man.
Just same old,
I,
same old.
yeah,
All right.
like, even if I did use a slang, I would not like. I don't think I ever use it that often.
I see what you
Same
mean.
one.
I mean, we use slang all the time. You kind of use one. Shoot. Shoot was. I'm pretty sure it's a slang. But anyway, I think we should move on. I gotta start moving on. Weed and stuff. That is our serious topic of the day. Now, should it be legalized or not? I feel
Yes.
like that is increasingly not even becoming a question.
Shoot, I mean, since it's legal in Colorado, then might as well.
It's still in a couple of states now, actually, but it should be legal all over. And like
I
the
think it's
thing
only
is,
legal in 3 places, like Colorado, Seattle. Is it Seattle or yeah, it's Seattle.
yeah, Washington, yeah, it
Washington,
is.
Seattle, and I think Washington D.C.
Is it there too?
I can't remember. Like if I knew this
See,
beforehand, I
that's
would do a
why
bunch of research.
that's why I feel ashamed of myself. But
Yeah, like it's not even becoming a question anymore. More and more people believe, even though they don't do it themselves, they're like, it's not. You don't hear of people overdosing. That's just
you
unheard
don't,
of.
you can't. You really can't overdose on weed. And the thing is, like, it's not. It really shouldn't be looked at as a problem, because the thing is, with, like drinking, like you have people drinking and driving. You never hear about people smoking and driving and getting into accidents. I mean, people smoke and drive, but they don't get into accidents.
Yeah.
Smoking chills you out, it calms you down and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not. And the thing is, like, I'm not trying to like encourage. I mean, I'm not really trying to encourage other people to do it. I'm just saying, like, it's in terms for like safety, it's better for you than alcohol. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And I'm not
definitely.
saying I hate alcohol because of that, but
There's
I'm
also
just.
something you gotta consider.
Mhm.
It's like most things in this world. If you give
Mhm.
it to somebody, like just the wrong person with the wrong set of
Yeah.
genes or whatever, it could be
Mhm.
harmful.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't
You
even
don't know how
know
you use it. Yes.
I don't know the validity of these stories, but in health, because, health, they like to scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, they do.
There's
They
this
feed
one
you.
teacher who was like, there's this one girl who took one puff, and boom, she was dead. I was like, wait, what?
What the fuck?
No, I'm not saying that would ever happen, but there are some people that I feel are definitely addicted. They can say that they're
Mm.
not all that they want, but when you post statuses about nothing but weed,
That's just being freaking annoying,
that
man.
that
Like,
is
I'll tell you
annoying,
that.
and you have a problem. You need to broaden your horizons a little bit. Maybe listen to some ukulele music. That's pretty chill. It's pretty chill, you know.
Pretty chill. Yeah.
Yeah. Just get into something else. But
I know what you mean,
making
man.
that like your entire life is kind of sad. It really is. I
Yeah, there
mean,
needs
you
to be a
can,
balance.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's nothing wrong with like having it on the side, and like doing it for fun and whatnot. But I
Hmm.
understand what you mean, like having a balance, because there are some people, and like I'm not gonna give out any names or anything, but there are like some people who, like when they grow up, I mean, they'll just spend all their money on it, and like you gotta realize, you still have to like do what every other person has to do when you grow up. Like you have to pay bills and whatnot. Like you
Absolutely.
got to pay taxes and whatnot,
Hmm.
all that. So you have to consider how much I'm going to put aside for this. Because as you're young, I mean, you have the freedom and liberty to spend pretty much almost whatever you want to spend your money on. But
Hmm.
as you get older, you got to realize, I got to set time aside for this and whatnot. I
I
mean,
got.
there's still room for fun, but
It's like,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I definitely understand what you mean.
Basically, get your priorities straight,
Yeah,
and then it's still
grow
easy
up
to have fun. Yeah,
because you're not going to be a little kid for the rest of your life, and certainly
you're
if you
not.
have that mentality, like to the full extent that that means,
Hmm.
you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
By all
Sorry, I'm
means, you gotta
South
be a
Park.
kid. You gotta be a kid every now and then. I understand, but
Mm-hmm.
when you gotta get it done, you gotta get it done.
Oh yeah,
Shall we move on?
I'm
Hmm.
gonna smoke pot for the rest of my life. What?
Tell me about stories in which you thought you were going to be screwed over, but then things turned out being okay. Think about my story that I told in the beginning of the podcast with the police officer.
I have one about police officers. I really do.
Alright, go on.
Okay, well, this was a while ago. This was last year. I don't remember which month it was, but it was a couple months ago actually. And I was with this girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were. I don't want to be too loud about it, but we were smoking, and we were in this church parking lot, right? And it was at night, and we were hotboxing their car, and all the cars had like happened to leave and everything. We were thinking, I don't know, maybe we should leave soon, but then we were just like, nah, I think we're fine. And then out of nowhere, like about an hour after we're hanging out still in our car smoking and whatnot, this cop car pulls up. And I'm just like, holy crap, there's a cop car. Let's get out of here. And so we're like, oh shit. So she backs up the car. As soon as she's about to drive off, he turns on his lights, stops the car. As soon as she rolls down the windows, all this smoke comes out. And I'm just like, we are fucking screwed, man. And then he comes up to the window. He just asks for like our names and whatnot, goes back to his car,
Mm-hmm.
comes back, tells us to just go home because the church parking lot is closed. Didn't say anything about the weed, nothing about it. And I'm just like, wow, we got off lucky on that one. Literally, I was scared for my life. Like I thought I was done for and everything. And he just tells us to go home, and I'm just like, well, there's some good in the world. Thank goodness for this man.
He didn't
Maybe
smell it?
left. Oh, I know he did. He saw the smoke come out of the cars. He just didn't say anything about it.
Dude, you should count your
He literally let
blessings.
us off. I am, trust me, I really am after that.
Like,
Like,
personally, I don't like the smell. I don't. That's
you
just my
not know.
preference. It just smells
Mhm.
awful. I remember
I know
the
it's stinky, but you kind of get used to it. But there is times where it is pretty much kind of like really gross stinky. I know what you mean, though.
yeah, that's what I hear from
Dank,
people.
man.
It's pretty
Dank.
dank. Um, Here, let me add Ken real quick. Let's see if he's ready. But I'll just keep this one story brief. Like, there's this one kid at my college. He's like the only guy I ever talked to, really. And he was just like, let's just chill in the car. And just as soon as I opened the door, I'm like, you hotboxed before class, didn't you? And he was like, yeah, man. I was like, come on, man. Like, this is terrible. It smells awful. Like, there is a heat wave hitting me in the face right now
Oh.
of the smell. So I stand off to the side, like, away from the door to let the air out. And he's like, I think it's done right now. And I look over to him and give him that face. Like, no, it's not. I can still smell it from here. No, it is not. So
That sounds like what someone I know would say. He who shall not be named, but that sounds like something he would say.
I just don't like the smell. But anyway, I'll tell you a story. It's kind of brief, but you guys remember my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's terrible. But anyway, I was at her house, and I was going to meet her mom. And I'm scared. In my head, I have this buzzing around in my memory that the one time she talked to me about her mother, she was saying how she loved to torture any boys that she brought home and ask, "What are your intentions with my daughter?"
Oh God.
Oh.
Now that
I remember this.
scares me because you could say any little thing and it could be wrong and immediately get kicked out of the house just because it wasn't satisfactory enough. So I was already worried about that. But we were down in the basement, and I guess I was leaning on her, kind of. Like, completely on top. And we're away from the stairs that are coming down. And you know that feeling when you feel somebody standing behind you, but you don't hear anything?
Yes.
Like, you just feel something.
That is, yes, I know. That presence,
Oh
yeah.
God.
I gotta tell you, my stomach dropped. My face went white. I could see her kind of peek out from under me. And I just kind of slowly turned back, and there she was.
Oh.
And what she
Shit,
said
man.
was, "That's no way to sit on a couch, is it?" And I just kind of looked down. I didn't know what to say. I let her do all the talking, and it was fine because all she came down for was to talk to her about colleges, which I guess is, I don't know. I just was very scared, and I was waiting for it. But then, after she was done, she just turned around, walked back upstairs, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I not going to be emotionally destroyed right now? Is that not going to happen? Should I not count my... What's the metaphor... What do you call it? Should I not count my chickens before they hatch? Hash. Wow.
Before they hatch.
But no, I got off scot-free.
That is good, man.
And then she ended up going out with 2 different guys, so it was just like, yeah, no, not even touching that.
No. Sloppy, 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 my friend.
Something was sloppy on it. I'm actually going to use that I have a speech this Monday, and I'm going to talk about the podcast, and I'm going to end it with, simply doing is actually very hard for a lot of people. If it were easy, they'd call it my ex-girlfriend. Hey-o!
You gonna do that?
I'm gonna
You
do
should
it.
do that.
I'm gonna
I
do
Do
it.
think
it.
you should.
I'm gonna do it.
I think you should. You really should. I want you to do that.
I
Please
might.
do
I
that.
might
I
record
wish
it.
I was there to see it.
I might record it. I haven't decided yet. No, Ken, I cannot hear you.
But we could see your text messages.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
looking
I've
at
been
the
like
chat.
messaging him in the
Um,
chat. Ken, you lousy fucker.
James, do you have a story?
Okay, I got one. And this happened like a long time ago. Okay, when my mom was picking me and Jamila up from our grandma's house,
Mm-hmm.
and and she was talking with her mom and her sisters and all that stuff. What the fuck? Okay, and I was just sitting in the car waiting. I was on the driver's seat, and I was messing with the what do you call it, the gear shift or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
So so I was messing with it. Then I end up putting it on drive. Then all this, well, was it on reverse or drive? I think it was on reverse. But once I put it on one of those things, like the car just started to move back. Then I started to put the gear shift back on park.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. I was scared that I started crying.
I can
Oh dang,
imagine.
dude.
Like and after I once I got home, I thought my dad was gonna whoop me for that,
Mm.
but not really. Like he was kind of joking about it.
Oh.
I think I'd be joking about it too, because I've been in that situation as well,
Mm.
and it's actually with somebody else's car, Matt's car actually,
Oh man.
and I can understand. That is a scary situation. Yeah. Sucks that you had to go through that, James. But you know, you're a better man for it now.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it
Oh,
was
you're a
kind of
better man.
funny.
He's a way better man for it now, alright, Tim?
Yes, a lot better, man. Next time you should completely total the car. You know how
No,
much better of a man you'll be, James?
no.
Destroy that thing.
Like military school better man. I can assure you that.
Dude, you'll be perfect. Like,
I
you'll
might get the...
probably become president. You should just,
Fuck.
like, wreck that car.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Crash it into a train. What?
I got a quick
Sorry.
question for you, James.
What is it?
You have been offered the presidential seat. You get to be president of the free world, the #1 country in the world. But at the cost of the chair treatment.
uh,
Would you do it?
no,
Not worth it?
not worth it for
Yes.
the chair treatment. No, no, fuck that.
I don't know,
Isn't
man.
that where they take the leg of the chair and put it up your ass?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, no, fuck that bitch.
Okay.
There's Ken.
Man, for that bitch.
There he is.
I am.
There he is.
Hey,
Ken!
uh,
What's up with the... He has an echo. What the fuck is up with the echo?
sweet Jesus, hold on. Let's see if I can fix it more. How's that?
Oh, it's
Nope.
even worse. Okay,
Dude, there's
that's
still
getting
an
better.
echo.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
It's like he's in a cave.
It is. It's hilarious, though. Keep him in the cave.
hey,
Cave Ken. Caveman Ken.
caveman kid.
Oh my god.
Can I stay in this cave forever?
Please do it, dude. The Cave of Wonders.
All right, cool. Y'all wanna come to my cave? I got plenty of things. I got the Xbox 360 there. Got the PlayStation 4. I got the love seat. You know, it's all cozy. Don't mind the bats or the spiders. It's just it's a thing.
That's how he gets women. He says, I got a bunch of things in my cave and you should come over.
Now that's
In
his
my...
man cave. That's his man
That's what I
cave.
was about to say. That it is.
That is a legit man cave.
But it's an actual cave. She's like, I'm not going in that. It's like, no, trust me. You'll be fine.
Okay, I'm still trying to fix it. Try to get everything right. No,
This man cave will look normal if you just put this cloth on your face. Never mind. Let's move on. I can hear my echo now.
Yeah, because I changed. I'm changing. Kevin, speak.
Can't hear my echo.
Hello. Okay, I can't hear it now.
I want an echo.
I I still
I'm
have.
jealous now.
How's that? That's ridiculous.
Ow! Oh my God! Stop that. That really hurt my ears.
The microphone I'm adjusting, and I change it. I'm like, yeah, look. That's probably why I got a freaking ridiculous echo. You know, that's movies in the background. I don't know.
Speaking of the word echo, I hate it when people use that word in their gamer tag.
Echo.
Yeah. They're like, Echo Bravo 123, and I'm just like, dude, go home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it with the echo. That's cool.
Alright, just as long as I don't have one.
But Kevin, I thought you would like to hear yourself.
Yes, but the echo doesn't represent my voice well enough.
Is it my voice well enough?
It's like you're outside now.
Hey, let me in.
No. Now, what's going to be on the channel this week? James had an idea. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be done this week, but we would like to do it eventually. So, James, tell me about it.
Yeah, I think about doing this thing called One Up Pleasant Football, and
Mhm.
I was thinking about the location, like you know the sports park.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's where we like to play the football, and I still trying to find a person that could like hold the camera for it
I
because
mean, I think I've said this before. It doesn't even have to be like full teams. It just has to be cuts of you guys attempting, and keyword attempting to play football. Like, for example, Ken goes back for a pass, or drops back for a pass, and then Tim shows up in the shot with a gun saying, "Put the ball down." You know, absurdity like
I like
that.
that.
Oh, okay.
Just off the wall, things like that. I would like to see that. That's a great idea.
That would be fantastic.
Um,
I would have to apologize to James real quickly because I did bash on his idea a little bit. It's probably because I didn't get it, but you know,
but now we all get it. It's all Gucci.
yep.
yeah.
It's all Gucci, man.
Oh wow.
Another video I want to post. I want to complete the trilogy of the best video ever,
We have to.
starring Timothy Ware.
Yee.
I can't wait for that.
I can't wait for it either. He's gonna have like the biggest thing of Tang. It's gonna be like kiddie pool size.
Wait, what? What about saying now?
I told him the idea. It's like, Tim, I'm gonna need you to get in front of the camera and just eat Tang.
Dude, that's gonna be so sour, just straight up. That's gonna be horrible.
Wow.
You should like snort it, like sniff it up your nose.
Oh my God. You'd have to pay me to do that. I mean, I'd do it if you paid me, but can you imagine how much that's gonna burn? Like, that's gonna burn so bad, man.
Ken, one of these days we're gonna
I'm
do a
gonna be
bet.
smelling Tang for weeks.
We're gonna have a
Like,
bet where if Ken loses, he has to snort Nesquik, and the other way around.
What the fuck?
Like, if I
What?
lose, I gotta snort Nesquik or something. We gotta do something with that one day. That'd be funny. Another thing we want to do. I've had this newscast, Ken.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm
Ken, we can't hear you.
me.
He's getting further away.
Ah!
What the fuck?
I just heard my echo. Oh my God. Oh my God, it doesn't stop. That's great.
Stop it!
I like cheese.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about the thing and the other thing and the many other things. But when my phone broke, I lost all access to everything I needed.
So, do you want me to pass it off to Tim? Let him be the anchor for once?
yeah, that'd be fine. Let him.
Alright, because that's what we were planning on doing. If, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, got it.
So,
I mean, as long as we have a camera to record, I'll be fine. The editing part is probably the harder part because my limited access to a computer. And
yeah.
the school will have a hissy fit because here's a funny story. So I'm with the next Channing Tatum, right? And we're in the I have a free hour, right?
Yeah.
Like I have no seventh hour, but I had to stay at the school because I was waiting on the bus or something like that. And I was playing one of my emulators, and I'm sitting here and I'm just cool and I'm listening to music. They close out my emulator, like they took control of my computer and closed it out. I look over there with the most stank eye I could possibly create, and be like, why would you do that? It was my game, first of all. Second of all, no one told you you had the rights to close out my thing if I wasn't doing anything wrong. And third of all, I will flip.
Tim, what the fuck?
He's winning.
What? Yeah. Kevin, he's winning.
But yes, I would do that. I would smash your computer and then go back to the other computers and play my emulators just so you can't do anything about it.
But yeah, newscast. That's something I hope we can get up within the next week. It might be a bit tough because I have 2 presentations to make next week, so that's going to be completely taking over my schedule. I think Summer might post something. She sounded like she wanted to do something, so that might be another thing.
She has many ideas for us to tell and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got her number.
Wingo, good, so it'd be easier to do things.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
no way she wouldn't get a Facebook for us. I'm like, please get a Facebook so it'd be easier for all of us. She's like, no, I refuse. I'm like, listen here now. You're gonna get a Facebook whether you like it or not. Funny stuff in between.
She's smart for not getting one.
She is. She's intelligent for not getting one.
Alright, now, let's do...
Would you rather?
Alright, if your parents had to give you one punishment, would you rather live without your phone or live without your computer, iPod, and clean clothes?
I'm gonna say phone. Yeah,
Because you can turn your iPod into a phone.
you really can.
I would have to say phone because one, my clothes are my life.
Same. Like I need that, man. That and my music. Like you can't just take that away from me. Phone, you can just meet up with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'll
dude.
see 'em.
I have music on everything. I have music on my 3DS, both my USBs, my tablet, my MP3 that I just got, and on my phone. So I always have a music alternative because I need it. I need it.
Speaking of clothes, I can picture Tim in like a button-up shirt, a bow tie, thick-rimmed glasses, and a pick in his throw. I think he would look so cool.
Thank you, man.
You know what? I should draw that. Speaking of, do the next Would You Rather, then I'll respond with my thing.
Okay. If you were only allowed to read one comic book company's comic books,
Marvel.
would you rather... Okay. That it was Marvel or DC, and clearly Marvel is the best.
Marvel is totes the best.
Alright, James, this one's for you.
Okay.
Would you rather always have fingernails 5 inches or longer, or have a snorkel on your face permanently?
Oh God.
What?
Or have a snorkel on your face permanently?
What's a snorkel?
Sparkle, like the glitter and
No,
stuff.
snorkel. Snorkel.
Snorkel? Oh, you're talking. Oh, no, 5 inches. I thought you said sparkle. I would have picked 5 inches.
Wait, what is snorkel?
Like when the people that go scuba diving, there's those glasses with the little tube.
I thought snorkeling was like doing it naked.
No,
No.
snorkeling
am I
is just the
thinking-
mask.
I'm thinking of skinny dipping then. That's my
Yes.
bad.
So what would you rather do, James?
Okay. I'll take the snorkel.
So you're never gonna talk again. 40% agree with you. Okay, Tim. Would you rather? This is perfect. Would you rather live in a world with no spiders but all other bugs at their current population? Or live in a world with only spiders but with a 50% increase to their current population?
Hmm.
He just got out. Ah, this is
Oh,
terrible.
I bet he did on purpose though.
What do
No,
you get?
no, it's a problem with the goal.
I would have got weak. What if he just like made it look like as soon as you said like spiders, he ran to the like other was and like unplugged it.
He ran to like North Dakota or something.
Uh, but
Waiting
like
on it.
while you're waiting on Tim, I did for those images that I made for us. I did do James' image, but I didn't do the detail, like the re-image of it. I gave him a square face. I don't know why I just did. Anyway, Domestically Luscious's face. That's what I did. He has a football.
If you
I
do
did
get it, send it to me.
yeah, I did a comic for that, like just to test out how the characters will look and interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, it was just me and you, and I was like, "Where's that music coming from?" And there's a door with like heavy music and like O in the background, and you're like, "Mm-hmm." And so we go check it out, and we see this butt, like butt sticking out. And then like the next scene is Tim looking at us with like the most scariest face you could possibly make. He's listening to metal naked, and we just see his butt.
Welcome back, Tim.
Back from crying from the spiders, man. That's intense. This
Hello.
Wait, did you hear this one? Because this one's specifically for you.
Well, I want to hear it then. I didn't hear it.
Would you rather live in a world with no spiders, but all other bugs are at their current population, or live in a world with only spiders, but with a 50% increase to their current population?
Oh my god, I don't. Can I kill myself? I mean,
Let me look at the comments. Yeah, it's pretty much everybody hates spiders.
I like spiders.
yeah, man, I don't want spiders.
I wouldn't want to live in the 50% increase. No.
So think about it this way, if you lived in a world with only spiders, they would eventually die off because they need to eat insects.
But spiders eat other spiders too.
They can, but there's a lot of species that,
Don't.
yeah.
But there's tarantulas. Those things eat anything. And then there's the sun spider. Those things. Those are scary.
Then you got the spiders that are as big as your face,
Yeah.
that'll like eat mountains and stuff.
Yeah. I'm which do you pick?
What was the second one again? What was the second choice?
I'll put it in simpler terms. Either live in a world with no spiders, but there are bugs, or live in a world where there's only spiders, but there's a 50% increase to that amount of spiders. So take the amount of spiders that are already in the world, jack that up by 50% more.
That would there's like
Mhm.
there's
I'm gonna
currently
go with the first one.
there's 5.2 million spiders.
71% agree with you.
Yeah, go with that. Because then it's 5.2 million spiders, and then add 50%.
Just stop saying the word spiders.
I don't know. I like the word spider. I mean, it's a cool spider, and everything is spider. And then Timothy Ware, how you doing, spider?
I'm. That's why I love you, though, Ken. That's why I love you.
Okay, we got time for one more. Ken, for the rest of your life, would you rather have all superpowers you want but always be alone, or be a normal person but popular? And there's a note that says immortal would not count as a superpower.
Well, I don't like being alone, but I don't like being popular. I would have a Tim syndrome. I hate that.
Sizzle.
Tim syndrome.
Yeah, Tim syndrome.
The hell does that supposed to mean?
Well, you have it, you wouldn't know, so.
Okay.
So pick one.
Go on.
Like, being a superhero would be pretty cool, but I'd have no one to share it with. Like, how? What do you mean by alone? Like, love left alone or no friends alone? Like,
I guess both. Like, you
Oh.
can have interactions with people, but you can't.
you
You know.
come, hey, you want to go hang out at the bar? They're like, sorry, Super Ken, this is, I got things to do, and he like sprints off in the other direction, and I'm like, dude, I have X-ray vision. Come on, man. I know what you're doing. Just say you don't want to hang out. I can read your mind. And he like looks at me. You're a freak. I'm like, I know.
So which one is it, Ken?
Probably going to be popular because I don't want to be alone.
58% agree with you. Now, thank you for joining me, bros, on this February podcast.
No problem.
We're going to get sued because you said bros. Like all the PewDiePie fans are going to hunt us down now.
So what?
That's something they would do.
That's
Like, nah, I'm not gonna bash. Anyway, comment, like, sub, share with your dentist, do whatever makes you happy, and have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
night, night.
Sayonara.